Hello, it's Colette from the Sacred Rose Temple, and I'm here to give you this week's energy forecast. Well, it's been really quite a deep weekend, hasn't it? We've been feeling in the midst of many emotions and frustrations, and it feels like the key themes that have been coming up recently for us are still very much up in the air, in the body, all around us. And we have a big turn of events this week that's going to bring in more nicer energy. I don't want to say nicer. I think I'd sooner say abundance, energy of abundance, and energy that we might feel that the graft that we've been doing recently is going to have been worth it, and that we're going to see some fruits of our labor. So that's good news, but it feels different. I don't know whether you can sense something's moving in the energy, and the shift in atmosphere is like the future is starting to rearrange itself. We've been speaking about this since the beginning of the year, when we felt like a new energy was approaching. We felt like it as spring came through, but now we're definitely feeling this astrologically. We begin this week with the moon in Pisces, and that is going to be emotional waters. So many of your emotions may be heightened. I was feeling this from Thursday onwards. Actually, I hit a really emotional space on Thursday, and then really began to sense all this movement of energy and emotion through my body. And that might take us, because it's in Pisces, to be kind of more watery, dreamy, sensitive, lots and lots of tiredness and fatigue. I know that particularly for Taurians, they've been feeling this deep fatigue, really quite intuitive, really sensing things and feeling very pulled inward to come into some sense of self-reflecting. This Pisces moon is about clearing energy. It's about cleansing you. And it can feel as though your soul is really been clearing old grief, old pain, old wounds, old relationships. You might have really been thinking about people from the past and how they've affected you. And you might have thought, wow, I've done a lot of healing around that. And yet more comes up. This is very moon in Pisces energy. So try not to shy away from that, but rather allow these feelings to move outside of you, to keep moving, to keep filtering through the old version of yourself. I think what we need to ask at this point on Monday, at the beginning of the week, is what is moving through you that simply needs to be felt, blessed, and released. And you can really do a ceremony or an initiation around that. Like, I've just gone through probably the most difficult period that I could think in my life. And how might I honor that? What does that look like? I really feel this new energy of my new life coming through, and it's, yeah, a few months away, but it's coming. I'm feeling this big new plan, this new start for me, and what that might bring, and definitely honoring what's gone past, what it's taught me, and actually what I never ever want again, and how I move forward into that. So we've got that shaping us today, but we've also got the Mercury quintile with Chiron. And we know that this is the wounded healer. This is bringing up the wounds. So there is deep healing, because Mercury is of the mind, it's of communication. It's really bringing the words, the conversations, sudden realizations, just speaking things through. When we write things down, we can often bring things through from the unconscious. So really allowing that, so that you can begin to keep this filtering, this clear up. I'm calling it a spiritual clear up happening through your body. It's not a regression. Don't worry that you're regressing. You know, this week when I was having all this feeling, I had something that really triggered me into kind of an old wound. And I was like, wow, is this still here? Really? Like, I thought I'd done a lot of clearing around that. And it's just the last parts of it, lifting up. Remember, the wounded healer doesn't teach us that we do something and we're healed. It teaches us that we carry these wounds around us, and over time, we begin to gently cleanse out the wound. We heal it and heal it and heal it. It's not like a done deed, if you know what I mean, with healing. So really, if we're looking at healing and moving on, we're going to ask ourselves the question, like, what story about yourself are you finally ready to stop repeating? So that's going to come up from all that I've just mentioned, that place that you thought, I thought I cleared that, and yet it's still coming up. It's not that it's unhealed. It's not that you haven't done enough work in there. You've done the right amount of work if you're doing this work, but it's purely showing you that this pattern could still repeat. How will you make sure that it doesn't? So name the pattern and then give yourself a clear indication of how you must avoid repeating that pattern again. Make it very clear to yourself, and you will feel that when you overstep into that behavior once again. So yes, this is really big stuff. We have a lot moving. We're probably hearing this all over the astrology, because there's much happening, obviously, with the Venus, with the movement, but more so with the energy of Venus conjuncting Jupiter in Cancer. This is a big one. I've wrote so many notes here about this, so I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible. So it's 12 years since we last had Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. Venus affects women specifically, and especially Taurian women like myself. So I pay real attention to Venus and where she moves. And I know that within the feminine work, it's really good for us as women to notice how this energy of the goddess, the Venus, as a representation of the divine feminine, really works with us as well. But this is going to affect everybody. It's really the energy when Venus comes into conjunction with Jupiter in Cancer, which makes it so beautiful, is because it's really about good fortune, good blessings. The emotions that you've been releasing and feeling are being blessed, they're being honored, and there is some safety that you begin to feel to take the abundance that all that you've been through is now going to gift you with. It also brings up massive things you'll find with what you've gone through to do with the mother wound. Cancer is about that mothering energy. So we are going to claim some gifts from all the healing that we've been through, the realizations, if we behave in a certain way. So Venus and Jupiter together in astrology are known as the two benefits. They really help and support each other when they meet. It's a good thing. It really helps us. And if they're coming home into the sign of Cancer, which is love, home, the mother energy, it really, really brings us some really nice healing, I think, as well. And I know for me, I'm really feeling this place that there's this softness needs to come into this next part that's been to do with all that I've been going through. So Venus brings love, she brings beauty, pleasure, attraction, money, value, connection, and desire. She's all of those things. Jupiter is expansion, faith, really our spiritual growth, how we grow and evolve as humans. It is about blessing, the opportunity, the abundance, the good fortune that can come in. And when these two meet, something can open that brings us good fortune, that brings us blessings, that brings us, yes, finally, some fruits of all we've been going through. This is years of working, say 12 years of working, healing, clearing, trying, holding, grieving, learning, and wondering when life would finally soften. So I really feel that there's this kind of place in us right now. If we've been working really hard on all of these things, if you've been someone that's been doing the courses, the work on yourself, you've really been trying to look at your shadows and your feminine energy and the wounds that have driven your life, this is where you're going to benefit. And this is, if you're that person, it's not asking you to do more. You will not benefit from this, from feeling that you need to like do more, push more. This is really kind of sitting still, breathing and saying, okay, all that I've learned, all that I've been through, what is this shaping for me now? What is this conjunction bringing forward for me now with a new way of emotionally connecting? How is it and how do I need to be so that I bring in aligned opportunities? Where have I pushed in the past or operated from a wound that has brought in opportunities that have actually not been for my good, rather for my suffering or for the lessons or to teach you the things that you were unhealed about? So we might see if we're able to open and receive to this, because this is what this energy is asking for. Venus doesn't need to go out to get, she is open to receive. It comes to her. So this can bring in things like emotional connection, aligned opportunities, abundance, yes, support, oh yes, kindness, generosity, ease, and the sense that life is trying to meet you differently. Take a big exhale. It really is. Can we just release the fear, the apathy, or all that we've been working with? Think of the words around you. And I would say that was a really important exercise to do right now, to put the words around you that you've been dealing with. And if you can just open up to support, kindness, generosity, ease, life meeting you differently, what does that look like? What does the differently look like? This is new. And this is happening in Cancer. So the blessings are coming through the Cancerian themes. So those Cancerian themes are, like I said, like the mother, home, family, safety, belonging, nourishment, emotional intimacy, like deep, deep connections with people. If you've been struggling in the past with not being met at a depth, or having to keep yourself small or shallow, or not being able to express yourself, can you be open that this new set of people will come in who will be like you, who will want to talk about the things that you want to talk about, that are interested and stimulated in spirituality and art and poetry? If that's what floats your boat, it's going to come in. And that is all related to your wounds around the mother and your inner child and your nervous system and the very private self that deeply longs and desires for certain things and felt that you weren't able to get them. So the emotions that you're feeling, that you have been feeling, is really bringing you into good fortune. That very thing you grieved about, that you said, oh my goodness, I can't believe this happened to me. You have an armory now to go forward and say, I know how that won't happen to me again. I know exactly how, because I am open to receiving something different. Can we allow ourselves to be softer and trust that in the softness, in the vulnerability, something will come in? You are armed and tuned enough in your instinct and your intuition now. You have learned those lessons. So there's a space in us that can open to more softness because we trust those parts of ourselves that we hadn't really discovered before. So really, I wrote down here that, you know, we can stop making struggle the proof of our worth. This is a big one for me. And struggling doesn't mean that you're worthy. It being super hard all the time doesn't mean that you're doing it good, that you're worth more. We really need to feel that we can be nourished, instinctual, relational, aware of the wounds, aware of the shadow, aware of the parts of us that keep getting us into the certain loops and patterns that we've been in, and still open and avoid them. So I'm really feeling that the abundance is wanting to come through Cancer, the body, and Venus, the body. So it really wants to come through your home and your heart and your nourishment, for you to feel that you can rise and thrive in new places now. New places will open to you where you thrive instead of survive. And you're going to feel that if you are brave enough to make the moves that this is asking, that you will be protected, that you will find an environment that is emotionally safe for you, and that you will become that mother inside of you that can tend to you, see to you, and make sure that you're safe while keeping all that intuition and instinct alive in you so that you're always safe. So this is going to land safety with some grief, and we are so conditioned to having to fight. Some of us, we're so conditioned to it being over the last few years struggle and hurt and heartache that it might just take some time for our nervous system to settle really into more peace, and knowing that this last wind of movement now might be difficult, but it's definitely going to bring us into pastures new. So tend to yourself, nourish yourself, and this next part will meet you there, which is really, really feeling good for me. Oh my goodness, haven't we waited so long for this? So safety is a big theme here. And do you feel safe enough in you? Can you create safety in yourself if that's been torn apart from you through a relationship or a job or a situation or people? Can you really find that safety back inside yourself so that you're very strong in who you are and what you do? Where are you still bracing yourself against the very blessing that you have been bracing yourself for? You know, I can feel this coming, this new place, this new relationship. I feel it all in me, and I'm holding back from it. It's here, it's facing me right now, and I'm in the midst of all this new change, new people, new relationship, new all of it. And there's still part of me really deeply holding back because I'm afraid of the old patterns showing. But I am wiser. I'm wiser, and I've got to trust that about myself. So how can you brace yourself for this next era of abundance, love, support, and opportunity? And that's going to call out the mother in you. How can you mother yourself to allow all of this support, all of this community, lover, new job, new home, wherever? How can you allow that in? That's the biggie for this week. I am smiling. Literally, I've had such a tough time, and over the last week, so much emotion and so much fear, and nervous system finally beginning to settle, and then this energy is coming in, and yeah, you are safe, Colette. You are safe. You are safe to embrace all of these new things that are coming in for you, that are more loving, more caring, more holding. Can you? You've done the work. I've not avoided it. And I know that many of you that watch this have not been avoiding it. You've not ran into the arms of a new lover when you've had deep wounds. You've not just gone to get a job straight away that had the same patterns as the last job because you were scared to wait out. You haven't stayed in the place that felt like it was rotting you. You've not stayed around friends who weren't pushing you, progressing you, really believing in you and, you know, supporting you. You've left all that behind. You've done the work. You've made the decisions. You've took the healing. You've honored your inner child. You've faced your demons. You've looked at your shadow. You've been working on it. If that's you, you will reap from this next cycle. And with Venus, Jupiter in Cancer, you're going to feel it. It's coming. So open, receive, learn from what's been done, and it comes and it's yours. I want to finish by talking about the next thing that Venus does, because she, at the end of the week, will enter the Leo. And this is significant for us too. So we get this feeling that it's coming, this beautiful, supportive place that brings us safety, love, and all the things that we haven't had before. But then when Venus enters Leo, the energy shifts with it into some which adds to what we've just spoke about. But after the emotional waters of Cancer, which you might feel this week, Venus in Leo brings in the fire. It brings in that fire back into your heart, which is great after doing that emotional cleanse, after opening to receive. And then you bring this passion, this fire back into you. And this is where you feel devotional to this new part of your life, devotional to the new job, devotional to the new partner. You feel there's so much value and joy in you, and that there's beauty all around you. Romance, visibility, you can be seen. Someone finally sees you and honors that, and the words match the actions, and you remember that you're radiant, that you are radiant, and that you are worthy, and wow, you've got these gifts, and of course, and the things that people didn't like about you, your outspokenness or your deep voice, or these were actually your gifts, and you've been working on that and refining it, and these gifts are your gold, and you're going to stop hiding the gold and realize that it's your superpower. I've realized recently that, in conversations with other women and in my groups and personally, that that so few people want to push you into good light, exalt you, raise you up. They want to pull you down. They want to say bad things about you, and you with other people as well. This is a two-way street. But Leo, Venus in Leo is like, be brave. Like, it doesn't matter what's been said about you, and stop saying it about others. Praise them. Let this goal quality, that thing that you don't like, maybe it's the most boldest gift. How can we let this part of us show itself? How can the love come through? How can the feelings of devotion and value and joy come out of your body? This is really what Venus in Leo is trying to do. Venus and Leo are a right pair together. This is a fiery love affair, very sexual energy, very sensual energy, all in the heart and the action. We must stop hiding our light in this. In fact, the partner Leo with Venus here wants the light of Venus to shine and vice versa. So dress like we matter, speak like we matter, create like we matter, and stop hiding your light. Honor it, bring it through. After the Venus with Jupiter blesses us in Cancer, then the Venus in Leo asks, now that you are learning to feel safe inside of you, are you willing to be seen? Are you willing to live from your heart? Can you bring back joy and desire and passion into your body? And are you willing to be 100% you without apology? And do what you've come to do in the world, because those very things that have tried to have been squashed in you are your superpowers that are going to take you forward into your destination of soul work and soul path. I've been saying this over and over again. Life is leading you onto the path where you're going to do bigger things, where your soul comes alive. And that is in relationship with people, it's in community, it's in your work, it's in all parts of your life. So please grab this. Please know what you've been dealing with, what patterns you're not getting into again, what your gifts are that may have been tried to be squashed by others, what your patterns have been, what your shadows have been. Write it all down and go, wow, this is helping me map my future forward and take the blessings of this abundant blessing that we're getting through this cosmological kiss. And that is going to shower down on me. I think I put the affirmation of, I am safe to step into this new place. I claim all that I've worked for, and I claim all that has been healed so far, and what still needs to heal will not stop me. I claim the wisdom I have earned, and I allow life to become softer, richer, more loving, and more aligned. And I really want to say, where fear is stopping you, step in. Where those old sayings, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough courage. I don't have enough strength. Where all of those old things you've said to yourself still are occurring, they will still hold you back. You have to be brave. You have to say, I will have the money. I will have the courage. I will have the strength. I am loving and passionate. I have all those things. And I just need to access them or allow them to come through, more importantly. So what if this is not another cycle of waiting now? And oh my goodness, we've waited. But the beginning of a life that can finally meet the woman that you truly are or are becoming. So as I say this, I really feel that this is happening in my Sacred Rose Temple. I am trying to step up, being more visible. I've got new plans as we come to the end of the summer. I've got a new announcement this week as a new idea that might help women. I love to help women as much as I can. And I know some amazing people in this work, so I want to bring them to you. So this will be announced this week. Keep an eye out on my email. Subscribe and like to this video. This is super important to me, and I don't push this enough really, but without your likes, without your comments, without your shares, this work will just get lost. And so my livelihood relies on your likes, your shares, your comments, and I do really appreciate them. When I get comments under the YouTube, it really, really fills my heart with so much joy that women are getting something, or I might have motivated you, or that you kind of made realizations about what's going on in your life, or you've got a clearer idea of what you need to do. Please comment underneath. It means so much to me. And if you know people that would enjoy this, please share to your Facebook pages, to your social media. All these likes and shares really help us who are trying to work within this arena. It's very difficult. I think a lot of my life force is taken up with marketing, which is not what I'm here for. I'm here to teach, and I really rely on you to help me out here with that. Also, I have the 13 Roses starting tomorrow. It's a big commitment, 13 months, but as I said, there is no real transformation in people if you go in lightly. And I know fear's involved when you step into a 13-month course. It's a big commitment, of course it is, but it's life transforming. I'm launching it when Jupiter and Venus meet. I did it on purpose because the alignment will bring in this abundance through the body, this life force, this healing, this change that you so want in your life in some area, or maybe all areas like me. Like I want it in all areas. So I'm going to be doing this course with you. I'm running through the practices with you. It'll be bringing up all the healing that I need. And I've done this about 5 times now. So if you feel called, I'll put the link underneath here for the 13 Roses, but also we'll offer, and that will go out on an email today, that you can join for 1 month. If you want to join the first rose to see what it is, there's 2 calls in the month. There's weekly postings. There's practices for all over the month. There's a psycho-spiritual booklet that takes you through the facets of the mother wound and the archetypes of the mother, which is your mother and what the mother's like within you. This is a deep, deep, deep dive. So if you feel called, then please join for a month and see how the first month takes you if you're too scared to jump into the full 13 months commitment. So I thank you all for joining, sharing, listening, liking, and I'll leave it here. I wish you all, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, much abundance. I hope that the tides change for you and life becomes more joyful and full of the things that you've been yearning for. So blessings on all of you, and take care for now. And I'll see you next week.